Hey everyone, Jamie here. I wanted to give you a tour of the RV, show you some of the things that have been done to it, and give you a nice overview of how cozy it is, its capabilities, and what has been fixed and repaired and upgraded. So I'm going to go section by section. So we're going to start up here in the front, starting with this dash. This dash was all weathered and worn. I took it all apart, painted the entire thing along with the corner pieces. They've also been repainted, and the top track has all been redone. A phone holder's been installed, a big meaty cup holder's been installed, steering wheel grip, and brand new stereo. The stereo has Bluetooth, Spotify, etc. This used to be, as you can tell from the shape, a holder for a CRT TV that would sit in the front. Very, very heavy. They built the whole dash around it. I've replaced it and mounted in securely a monitor of the same size with a mini sound bar, and behind it is an HDMI input, so you can plug anything you want in there. It's powered off of a tiny little inverter that takes the starter battery and powers the screen, and behind it I have some video game systems, which is what the controller's for. But you can put anything you like back there, get a lot of volume, and it's fun to sit here and play old school retro video games. This is the doghouse. This is the cover that covers up the engine. In the engine there's brand new spark plugs, brand new spark plug wires, brand new idle air control sensor, and a brand new AC pulley. A number of things that have been fixed and replaced. Also, the auto park system, which was failing when I got it, has been completely disabled, which is fine because your normal parking brake works just great. This thing drives wonderfully. It's a little house on wheels, so it moves like you'd expect, but no engine problems whatsoever. Here you have the panel for the hours on the generator. We're looking at 531 hours. Mileage, 46,247 miles. This little triangle represents how much fuel the generator has access to. If it's past that mark, the generator won't start, so you can't get yourself stuck somewhere. That's my little generator marker. And it has a left fan right there for the windshield, or just blowing air on you if you'd like. The right fan never worked, so I took it off. And the mirrors, this one was clipped and completely destroyed. It's been replaced by a non-motorized one. This one is motorized and heated, so if you needed to have heat, you just flip this little red toggle switch up, and if you need to adjust it, you use that adjustment right there. It also has a generator start button, so right from here you can start the generator. The jacks do not work. They said it'll be about $1,000 for a new motor. They're the leveling jacks. That's where you access them. So jacks don't work. That's one of the very few things about this RV that doesn't operate. The backup camera right here is a black and white TV, which you can leave on the entire time, so you can always have your essentially rear view mirror. And you have cabinet storage up here, which I've run a number of cables through for the home theater, and they also have a number of outlets up here that I've run for lighting. So that's the front. Now we move back over to here. This is the seating area, the couch. I have my electric blanket on it. I also have blackout blinds that are attached via a tension rod. And if you open these up, you get the actual blinds. They are old enough that they don't open. These ones don't. So they permanently stay closed. You can lift them up if you want, but they stay closed. You need to replace those if you want them to go up or down. New light fixtures here and here. And then the couch has a cover on it. This couch, if you take the cover off, actually turns into a bed that sleeps two, and it angles up the headrest. Over here I have my little media center. So on the left I have my controller caddy, which remote control for the fireplace, remote control for the TV, remote control for the sound bar, and then a universal remote so you can just push one button to do whatever you like. This is the electric blanket on-off switch, which you can wire up if you'd like. This is my iPhone. This whole RV is wired for iPhone, so this allows me not only to plug it in and charge, but to place my phone on the magnet and hold it so that I can pass my hotspot internet through that wire and into this very special little router. And by doing that, I'm able to share my phone's data plan with this router, which then broadcasts it throughout the entire RV. And it's a very, very easy, convenient, reliable way to share your internet connection to any connected devices within the RV, and it works great. Here we have the rear speakers. We have rear right and rear left. And up here we have the central soundbar, which is center channel, left channel, and right channel. And then down here we have the subwoofer, which is right underneath. A nice little added outlet panel for USB and normal power. And this is true surround sound, and it's wonderful in here because you're so close to the speakers and everything is nice and symmetrical. And you can get it really, really nice and loud if you like, or you can just keep it low and have nice clear audio. Here's my little battery meter. This is connected directly to the battery, so I can see what my draw is. I can see what my current amp rating is, what I'm pulling. And then a little caddy to hold controllers and whatnot. And this entire thing, this kitchen and couch slides out. This is part of the slide out. So we'll show you that in a minute. Above here, I have a brand new railing that I installed and a beautiful warm strip of LED lights that evenly light it. It makes it so cozy in here with a control dial that I've put right here. So I can control the brightness from here. And when I turn off power to the RV when I'm leaving, this shuts off. So it's all very, very seamless. Here I have a rod, a tension rod, again, another tension rod that's holding up these blackout curtains. And these blackout curtains are, well, they're blackout curtains. They're very, very useful for additional privacy if you want them in addition to these curtains. If you want to control the temperature, if you want to leave the cab cold and you want to warm this area up, it's a great idea to close those curtains. And if you want to watch something and you want to control your light, the combination of these blackout curtains and these curtains really give you the ability to control your environment. Here we have a custom little control box, which is the control center for a bunch of things. We have the steps, so I can turn on or off whether I want the steps to open when I open the door. My inside light, which is this guy here, turn it off and back on for a different color temperature. My outside light, which is a light obviously outside, and my little accent light, that guy. And then when you leave the RV, you turn this off and it kills all of the 12 volt power, which is the majority of the power inside the RV. So there's two completely different power systems existing in here. In your car, you have 12 volt, which powers the fans and the lights and the radio. And then in your house, you have 120 volt, which powers basically everything else in your house. And it's the reason why you can't have, say, a lot of things like a blender and a hairdryer running in your car, because that takes so much juice. It's built for 120 volts. So they're two completely different systems. One's lower power than the other. An RV typically has both, and so does this one. So all the lights that you see, all the fans, all these little things, they are powered off of 12 volts. The furnaces are also powered off of 12 volts. They have a 12 volt blower, which means that as long as you have 12 volt power, you'll have heat and you'll have light. And you'll have your water pump, which also pumps water. But if you want luxury, like things that are supposed to be plugged into your house, like an Xbox, or this fireplace, or this TV, then you need 120, which is these outlets up here. So in order to get 120, you get an inverter, which lives down here, and you connect it to your gigantic RV batteries. They're called house batteries, and I have two of them. They're AGM batteries for a total of 400 amp hours. They get charged from the solar panel, they get charged from running the ignition, they get charged from being plugged into power, and then you're able to control the energy. By default, all the 12 volt stuff gets power. And if you flip this button here, then your outlets come alive with the 12 volt power being inverted to 120. So this RV has the capability of existing off of battery power for most things, and then also having the luxury items powered for a while, depending on your power draw as well. Now, if you're plugging the RV in to a house outlet or a camping outlet, you're set. You don't have to worry about any of that. You'll be plugged in. All of your 12 volt stuff will work wonderfully. All of your 120 volt stuff will work wonderfully. The AC units take up a ton of power, so depending on how much you have available, you might not be able to run both of them. But for the most part, if you just plug this into a standard American house outlet, 15 amp breaker, you can have the luxuries of the fridge, of the microwave, of the Xbox, of the TV, the surround sound, everything. And all the while you're doing that, it's charging as long as you go in here, use this handy dandy remote, this wireless remote, which turns on the charger. And basically what that does, it exists down here under the floor. And what it does is it says, I'm receiving power from 120, your house, and I'm going to charge your battery with it. So if you want to charge your battery, you just push that button. It's very easy. And that's the basics of the power. So every power feature that you would hope for in an RV, 12 volt, 120, beautiful 1800 watt inverter, and solar is in this RV. And then I redecorated this whole back wall, added this wallpaper, covered up a ton of stuff, added the moldings on the ground and on the wall. And then over here, we got this guy. So this is the TV. These are simple little bungee cords, but this whole thing is on a 40-inch extending arm. And all the cords are managed loosely back here so that it has the slack to do what it needs to do. And it's built, I built it into the window frame, so it has a ton of support, not only from resting on the bottom of the frame, but also metal bars, which you can't see at the top. Added this so that you can't see any of the junk behind it, and it's just absolutely on there. It's going nowhere, even though the leverage is pretty intense once a TV this big is out here. So you have all of this stuff just ready to be used for a home theater setting. So if I killed the lights, and I came down here and I grabbed my TV remote and I turned it on, I have my 4K TV, which receives its internet from my little router once I plug my phone in, and then I have beautiful, beautiful, powerful sound for this whole thing. I close this and I'm able to enjoy everything in complete privacy. Absolutely gorgeous, bright picture, wonderful for playing games, wonderful for watching movies. It's a Samsung. And over here, I have all my devices. So right now I have a computer, a Nintendo Switch dock, and an Xbox, which is hard to see. And all of those connect their HDMI outputs to another thing which is hard to see down there. It's an automatic HDMI switcher. And that automatic HDMI switcher detects when you got a new signal, and it automatically switches the inputs for you. And then it passes that signal to the TV. So all I have to do is sit here and turn on the Xbox and I'm playing Xbox, or turn on the Switch and I'm playing the Switch. I don't have to fuss with anything over here. This is all completely hands-off and wireless. Same with the computer. I can pop this open and it'll just populate on the screen. I can use a mouse and keyboard. I can do my work from the couch. And then this is a wireless video transmitter, which we'll get into in a little bit. This fireplace console is not only ambience and holding all of my media devices, but it's also a heater. So it's not on right now, but when you plug into shore power, you don't want to run this off of the inverter, you're able to use it as an infrared heater, and it works great. And all of these light fixtures are new, and the cabinets, again, I can show you the inside. They're just full of tools. Build in these little lights. Wires run throughout, and they go into the walls and run through the cabinets to facilitate a lot of the home theater stuff. And I got a little box here for shoes, which is very nice. And let's talk about the floor. Let me turn these lights back on. So this floor, the original owner before me anyway, let me turn on this interior light. He added these hardwood tongue and groove vinyl floor pieces, and because of the fluctuating temperature in the RV when he was installing it, they didn't quite install well, and it really didn't feel cozy at all. So I spent a lot of time and money redoing this carpet myself with carpet squares, and it feels absolutely wonderful. It's super cozy, and I put them right on top of those slats. So you have multiple layers of insulation for heat, sound deadening, coziness. It helps a tremendous amount. Here I have my little mat, so when you walk in, you wipe your feet. You don't got to get gunk everywhere, which is really, really nice, because here you all in the well you also have a step, but this usually gets pretty messy, so it's nice having this as well. And of course the TV, at any point I can just push this out of the way. I could put it in the corner if I want. I can angle it however I like. This TV's a bit big for the RV, but man, when you're sitting right here, it's just perfect. It's just absolutely wonderful. So that's the front, that's the floor. Over here we have the kitchen area, brand new faucet, brand new Brita filter, and then these just come off and you have 2 sinks and this nice countertop. And I bought this guy, which looks gorgeous here. It's designed to be a stovetop cover and it fits perfectly. And then I did this backing right here, took off all the old caulking, replaced it with clear, did the wallpaper backsplash. I think it looks awesome. Here we have this high-end, everyone seems to be really impressed with this when they come by and look at the RV. It's not just a microwave, but you can also bake in it, and apparently it works really, really well. Here I have, again, another tool cabinet, but it's on these awesome gas springs, so it just opens so nicely. Got a bunch of tools in there. A lot of these cabinets have these lights where once the doors open, the light comes on, so you'll be seeing that a lot. Replaced all of the handles and knobs on everything. And here I have my garbage and recycling. Here I have my cleaning supplies. Here I have wires and tools and whatnot. And then all of the burners work. The ceramic on this one is burning away. It's not dirt or anything. The ceramic's just burnt away. There might have been, like, I don't know, some sort of oil fire or something that happened that made that way. The lighting knob has lost its teeth, so you can't ignite it with this unless you buy a new one. But you can turn on the gas, and then I include a little lighter, so you can easily go and light any one of those that you'd like. And then we got the fridge and the freezer. So I just replaced the panel in here where they're not on right now because they're not plugged into power, but the fridge and freezer both work great. The fridge has a light. You're able to run it off of, let me turn on this light. You're able to run it off of propane, or you're able to run it off of electricity, AC power. Again, it's a big appliance, so you don't want to run it off your batteries. But interestingly, you can run it off of propane. And if you're running it off of propane, then it sucks up just a small amount, keeps everything cold. Fridge and freezer, you can control the temperature. And after replacing the circuit board, it can now use AC power, which is very, very nice. And then here we have the climate control. I'm able to control zone 1 and 2. Zone 1 is this living room, zone 2 is the bedroom. I have air conditioners in each, both work, heaters in each, and fans in each. Everything works. Up here we have our little readout display. A lot of the sensors are super old, so sometimes you can't quite tell, and it also depends on how you're sitting. But for the most part, this is accurate. I can turn off and on my water pump. This isn't working because I have another switch in the bathroom which is on, so that's overriding this. I turn the whole monitor off if I want. And over here we have the solar panel controller, so I'm able to see how much juice I'm using, what my voltage is at, and whether it's charging from the sun. And that's a good way to see my 100 amp solar panel and see how much it's producing. So let's head down over here. So this is the closet. It lights up on the inside. I got a bunch of junk in here right now, but it lights up on the inside, both sides open, and it gives tons of space. There's 3 drawers underneath here. I put this little thing on, as you'll find when you're driving down the road. Sometimes you just want to secure your drawers. Here's the bathroom. The bathroom has this metal tile backsplash that I installed, a little magnet that catches the shower door when it opens. A brand new water heater, the switch for the water pump, the water heater using AC power, or the water heater using propane, and this is the master switch for the AC power. Behind here is the water heater. It's brand new. No leaks, nothing, works great. New switches throughout, new lighting fixtures throughout. Here we have the switch for the fan, which is up here, works great. And the lights, which as you can see also works great. Built-in soap dispenser, towel hanger. There's another towel hanger here on the door. And brand new toilet. The old toilet was ceramic, very heavy, and had some cracks in it. And then in here we have the shower, and brand new shower fixture, brand new handle, and a little caddy to hold things, and a nice little skylight. And everything works great. The nice thing about this is that you can leave it in the position that you want for heat, and the mixing the hot and the cold water. And because the water pressure is so good in the RV, it mixes very, very evenly and it's consistent. It's not an uncomfortable shower at all. And you don't have to futz around with the hot and the cold knob. So in here, it's gonna get a bit darker, but I also wanna show you, this is a work in progress. These are all magnets, and normally this door, which opens open and accordion's open, you have to latch it into a little hole here, and it doesn't seal. And a lot of, when you're trying to warm just this area up, a lot of cold air makes its way in and hot air escapes. But here, with this, because there's so many magnets now, not only does it seal by doing nothing, but it is a wonderful seal all the way down. Then you yank it and you open it, and that really does a really good job keeping things temperature controlled. So in here we have the bed. I'm going to turn this light on, a little less cozy, but you can see new light fixtures. Over there we have a little touch lamp casting the light into the little corner. I installed, again, another outlet, 3 outlets, 3 USB plugs, and then a mattress pad heater is that controller right there. And I have blackout shades here, and then behind this on the little sliding screen I have sound dampening, heat maintaining film that is on it that you can still open the window and get to the window and everything, but when it's closed, it blocks out all the light and keeps heat in and blocks out some noise. And then here I have my little cubby where I'm able to charge my watch, I'm able to charge my phone, I'm able to charge my AirPods, I'm able to charge batteries, all off of this. And then in here I have another storage cabinet, which right now I'm using it to store my vacuum, wireless vacuum, which is awesome, which should come with it. And it's just a dream. I love this little thing, and this is where it lives. Other cabinet I use for storing blankets and whatnot. Underneath the bed there's a whole bunch of storage that's all accessible from this little door here. So you're able to access the storage and the space under the bed. And I have cables, power cables for iPhone, run there and run there, so when you're in bed on either side you can get power. Oh, gotta show you this. I also have this screen, and this screen is connected to this Bose speaker, and when you're lying in bed there's another HDMI switch that's up here that I'll show you that lets you plug in any device that you want, and you can simply watch it on the screen. It's a gorgeous screen. That iPhone cable is actually connected to an HDMI adapter for your phone, so I can plug my phone in and see what's up here, so I can watch Disney Plus or YouTube or anything, get great sound out of it, all while I'm lying on my back. And then up here is all the wiring. It's kind of a mess now because I'm experimenting with some stuff, but this stuff is mounted in the back, and you have multiple HDMI cables just hanging out if you wanted to plug something in. And that wireless video transmitter that I talked about earlier, if I turn this on, it turns this guy on, and that wireless transmitter talks to this guy, this receiver, which is connected to the screen. And what it does is it makes it so that anything that's playing out here, computer, Switch, Xbox, even if this is completely off, broadcasts wirelessly into there. So you can be lying on your back and playing the Xbox with a wireless controller, or using a keyboard and mouse, a wireless keyboard and mouse for your computer while the computer's out here getting power. And you can just stay nice and toasty in there. And that's actually important because when you're in here, this room is much easier to temperature control. And when you're in here, on the side of the bed, I also have this guy. So you can put your laptop in here if you want, or you can use it for anything else. If you wanted to eat in here, you totally could. These legs, they pop down and you're able to adjust them. This room is great, especially with the addition of this to be a little office. You can control the temperature very easily. You can have this thing for your laptop, which works great. And you can have the warmth and coziness of your bed if you like. And you can do it all your work from in here, getting wireless Wi-Fi from either your phone or by plugging your phone into this router. And I think that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of other small little things that that make this place super, super cozy. Got little hangers here, but it's absolutely wonderful. I'm very, very proud of it. I love it so much. It's so pleasant to exist in here. And the final thing I want to show you is the slide out. So opening this and pushing this button will cause this whole thing to slide out. And it'll sound like it's making a ton of noise. What it is this giant rubber seal, which I just replaced, is snapping into a new position. So it sounds like it's, you know, very aggressive, and it's just switching positions across the entirety of the slide. So here we go. Turn this light on. And so outside, this whole area is being extended out. And there's an awning over this area on the outside that's slowly rolling out, which I just replaced as well. It's brand new. And all the cable lengths are correct for this, so nothing becomes unplugged when I put it out or in. And you start to see the old floor. And I did all of this trim work. This is aluminum that looks like wood. This aluminum that looks like wood, and this is actual wood right here. And it's only a couple of feet, but it makes it feel so much bigger in here just because relatively you've just gained so much more space. So now when the bed comes out, it doesn't go, you know, all the way to the door. You have space now. The TV can still be adjusted because it's on an arm, and the sound and all the wiring for the sound and everything is still maintained. There's just enough slack for everything, and you just have a ton of extra space, and it really, really adds a lot. And I really like the color between the carpet and the floor. So that's pretty much the RV. We just took a look on the inside today. We didn't look at any of the outside cabinets. We didn't look at the engine or anything like that, but everything works. Everything's clean. Everything's dry. Everything's functioning great. I absolutely love this thing, and I'm hoping to find it a happy home soon. Thanks.